Hey, this is Ashley Del Toro 23 on Twitter. I just wanted to send mad love to Mr. and Mrs. Mocha for inviting me out to Atlanta for an incredible lifestyle party. I mean, it's one for the ages, for real. They do it right, and I couldn't be more pleased with how it all came together. From the decor, 5 bedrooms, like 8 beds, guys dressed dapper, and the women sexy as hell. Actually, I let's say thank you as well to Carrie and Megan, who treated a brother right from Chicago. They really do take that Southern hospitality to heart. Oh, and Fun Size has been on another podcast too. Shout out to her too as well. My God, that girl got energy like a freaking 2 marathon runners. I swear to God. But I can't wait to come back for another great time with them, and send them nothing but praise, and I send them pizzas too. So yeah, those are for you. Fuck them kids.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Old Faces. We are your hosts, Mr.
And Mrs. Mocha.
Why are you looking at me?
Because I go with it. I had to look at the cue.
Oh my God.
Say it.
So we want to welcome Lupe and Micha back again on Old Faces. Say hi.
What up, guys?
Hey,
Lupe,
Micha here.
y'all doing today?
Good,
Doing good?
Well, now, before we get started, we want to give Lupe and Micha an opportunity to let you guys know where you can see them at, because they're doing a whole lot of fun stuff, a lot of good stuff, and trust me, you want to see them. So tell everybody what they can find you.
So you could start off by just Googling Lupe and Micha. We're Lupe and Micha on Twitter. We're Lupe and Micha on Instagram. We are Lupe and Micha on YouTube. And if you can't remember all that, just Linktree/Lupe and Micha, and you'll find all of our links.
We also have our own website that's almost done. Also, Lupe and Micha. And you host on the
OnlyPod.
OnlyPod.
But like I said, if you want to find us in every one of our links, Linktree/Lupe and Micha would be the easiest way.
Can you spell that for everyone just so that they know?
Yeah, LupeAndMicha. I can do it phonetically if you guys need to.
Say that again?
I can do it phonetically if you want. L for Lupe, U for umbrella,
Oh my God, stop.
P for piping.
Please stop.
You don't have to do that. I hope that no one requires that. The spelling, though, some people might not know how to spell Micha.
You never know, man. Some simple people, man.
Today's episode, we invited Lupe and Micha because they are a veteran couple in the lifestyle, just like we are a veteran couple in lifestyle. We've been getting a lot of questions from people who are new in the lifestyle. And we thought the best way to answer those questions, or even give you a good path, is to have two veteran couples. Lupe and Micha are very similar to us. They have a very
Very
open
Yeah.
open relationship. And when I say open, I mean from the standpoint of they are like us, where both of them not only enjoys watching the other have fun, they have fun as a couple, they have fun separately. And they're one of the few couples that we've met who we have not seen any insecurities when it comes to, now we all have our own insecurities, but we haven't seen them, and they haven't hindered the relationship that we have with Lupe and Micha, and we haven't seen them hinder the relationship that they have in the lifestyle. So that being said, veteran couple, let's talk about getting the rookies started. This is rookie season.
Season.
Hazing season.
Hazing season. I like that. Hazing season. Where that belt at?
I said rookie season, but we can haze the rookies too.
Hey, that's how you get them started. That's how you get them started, get inducted.
What Steve said, jump them in.
Yeah. Get
Get them indoctrinated nicely.
I was like, don't do that. Don't say that you're doing that.
We're gonna jump the rookies.
We give them a metaphor jump in, drop them in a real intense lifestyle party, and that's how you jump them in.
And we know where to find those.
The deep end.
Yeah, drop them in the deep end.
We've actually, like, quotations, jumped in quite a few new couples that we didn't even know that we did that. Like,
Yeah,
until years later, they were like, "Oh yeah, you go first." I'm like,
Yeah.
"Hey, okay."
We've had at least four or five couples on our podcast who on the podcast told us that, oh, you guys were the first one we played with, 8 years ago or something like that. We're like, we had no
I had
idea.
What?
That's wild. That's why we've had a few like that, but mostly we know ahead of time. Like they'll let us know, be like,
Yeah.
we're nervous, we're so new. I hope you guys don't think we're weird. I'm like, nah, you just knew. It's okay. So what
Yeah.
matter you?
It's okay to be weird because you don't know what the hell you're doing.
It's facts. That's
Yeah.
something I think when we talk to a lot of couples, we try to make it as comfortable as possible when we first meet them. Because a lot of couples, we realize, walking into the situation, they're scared. You know what I mean? They're in their mind, they're like, this could make or break our relationship.
I think there's a lot of pressure too, because they feel like, well, we chose this and now we're in this situation and now we got to do everything that everyone else is doing. And that's not the case. Sometimes when it's your first time or first couple times, you got to just go to some events and just feel it out. And you might not like that setting. You might love that setting. But I think that sometimes you're just scared of what they don't know. So just getting yourself in some situations and
Or they've watched like reality TV shows about swingers that are a terrible example of what swingers are.
Really, they are, because they seem so forceful. Like,
And it seems like a lot of drama.
well, yeah, that's true.
And I'll be
Reality
honest,
TV show, they have to pick the most dramatic people to go on the show because then more people will watch the show.
that's
So it's
true.
not actuality on what really happens. I mean, some of it might be.
I was gonna say some of it because
It's
there's
the extremes of it, right?
it is for the most part, but there are some drama points that are legit. I mean,
Yeah.
we've seen couples have breakdowns. You know what I mean, we've seen them couples have those moments and be like, holy shit. But look, for the rookies though, for the new people, because I remember our first time and we kind of got thrown in the deep end. Our first party,
Yeah, yeah, we did.
Rob invited us to one of his hotel parties. You guys know Role Model Rob down in Tampa. So he invited us to one of his parties, and we kind of just like walked in and didn't know what to expect. And if you go on our SDC profile, there's a picture of me like wrapped around her. I actually have a mohawk, and our eyes are like as big as saucers.
We're like leaning on the wall, like at the edge of the party, like observing. But it was like deer in the headlights look on our face. There's no replacing that.
I'll never forget. This guy walked up and he's like, "Hey, do you mind if I play with your wife?" And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm mine. I don't even know you, nigga. I don't know you. I don't know what this is about. I don't even know." When you say play, I'm thinking basketball. I knew, what I mean? Like I knew where this was going. So out my mouth, I said, "Well, if she wants to," and she was like, "Well, okay." I said, shit you not. This is no lie. She went over there, got on the bed, started fucking around, getting undressed. So I was like, I had a moment. I was like, all right, I gotta go out the room. So I walked out the room, and there was an older lady out there, and she was like, "Is that your wife in there?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "I've been eyeing you since you got here," and grabbed my ass,
Cougar life.
cut my ass up. That was it.
And we were like 22, 23 at the time.
Nah, I was
Right?
21 and you were 22.
Okay. Same. Thank you.
No, 22, 23, yeah, 20, yeah. Yeah.
We were young as fuck.
That shit was, that was
baby cubs.
those
My
baby
point.
steps. But I know that as a new couple in that moment, that was a very nerve-wracking thing because when she grabbed me and we walked back in the room, she was face down, ass up. And there was one dude with a dick slapping her in the forehead, and there was another dude hitting her from the back. And I was like, my baby. Oh, shit. I was like, look at it. And the lady was like, and the lady was there. God bless her. She was like, come on, sweetheart, don't worry about it. She's doing great. And I'm like, she knew exactly what to do. She was like, I'm gonna suck your dick. You gonna forget all about that over there. I'm gonna suck your dick. And this is no lie. She sucked the shit out of my dick. She sucked the shit out of it. She was older too. She
Good
broke
distraction.
Bro, the
Good
best distraction. Because then there was another couple there. She had a lot of piercings. And I remember talking to her husband, and she loved being DP'd. And I had never DP'd any woman in my life. And like, I'll never forget, she was riding, and she was like, you. And I'm like, she's like, fuck me in my ass. And I'm like, oh, you talking to me? You want me to put my dick in your? And I'll never forget Robert. I was like, go ahead, man. She loves that shit. I look at her husband. He's like, yeah, go ahead. She chose you. Go ahead.
She chose you.
And that was that party, man, that party. That was the first
That
one.
was a jump in the deep end.
That was the jump in the deep end. I think
Oh,
that
yeah, you got jumped in.
yeah, that was deep end. I don't think I recommend that for a lot of couples for their very first time.
Yeah, I think a lot of couples would have ran from that. I'm pretty sure a lot of couples would have been trying to tuck and roll.
I'm not gonna lie, I think
But we've met some rare couples that are like you guys and like us. And like Carrie, the first night I met her, she walks up to me and she was like, "Hi, I'm Carrie and I'm a whore." And I was like, "Bitch, we just became best friends." And it was the second time that they'd ever been to trapeze, and she was just like ready to go all the time. So
Yeah.
you know, sometimes you do get those people and you're like, wait, you started off as full swap? Because initially when we first got in, we saw a lot of newbies that started off soft swap and then they went to full swap or you know, but
yeah.
I think it's, for me, looking at newbies, I think you know off the bat when talking to them
What type of newbie they
what
are.
type of newbie they are. Because so when we met this white couple a couple years back. They're a little bit more nerdy, more nerdy couple, and like they were super new, super chill, really beautiful, nice people. But you could tell they're not party people. They're one-on-one people. You know what I mean? So like we're talking to them about like group stuff and things like that. You just got the vibe. They were like,
that was too far.
That's too much.
Like too much
To me, get people run around. I'm saying, what you mean? There's naked women just jumping in the pool and shit. No. We can keep this private, you know? So I think when you're with a new couple, you know, you can feel that vibe. Like, y'all about that life? Are you Carrie? Are you a whore?
yeah.
No.
And are you interested or are you scared? Like that's sometimes the hard thing for me to determine, like when we're out. Like you know, because new people, like a lot of times they don't make eye contact because they don't want you to talk to them, or they don't know what to do, you know?
Yeah.
So what do? I mean, hey, do you guys fuck? No, you can't do that.
So I think this is what I noticed personally. I think that you have different type of newbies. You have the newbies who we've met people who they say, hey, we've never had any experiences at all. And you know, hey, we heard about you guys. We don't have any experiences. What do you recommend? So for us, we always recommend that the rookies come in, and number one, I always want to know, what do you imagine the lifestyle is? What do you imagine? Because most people go to a sex club and in their mind, they're going to walk in and there's going to be people hanging off the chandeliers. There's going to be just fucking everywhere. But in my mind, if that's what you imagine it's going to be, and you show up and you go anyways, that means that's what you really want to see. But I think what happens is a lot of new couples meet couples who are really open, and they allow themselves to be influenced or trained by those couples, and then they wind up reducing their good time or lessening their expectations, and they never really achieve what they want to achieve. Because I know if anyone speaks to us after listening to this maniac, that means that you know that you really have this expectation of a lot of wildness. No, so for us, so I'll first ask you guys, for a couple that comes to you and say, hey, we've never done anything, we want to know how to get into lifestyle and how to go from where we are to where you are. What process do you take them through?
I would say in the beginning, if it's a new couple like that, and this is something we've always done even in the beginning, is we'd go for drinks and hang out and chat and really get to the bottom of what it is that they're looking for. Like you said, what their expectations are, what they're interested in, what they're not interested in, so that at least before we go forward with anything, we kind of know what their expectations are and what they're into. Once we have that first meeting, depending on how that meeting goes and what they're interested in, that's kind of how we would plan something.
That's how we determine. Like, so we have several couples that we've met and it hasn't, developed into us playing. but it has developed into them having the confidence to go out and meet other couples and play with them. So we have a Spanish couple that lives near us, and we've and hung out and drank with them a few times in a vanilla setting and really got to know them. They're still new to the lifestyle, but because they met us and realized, okay, hey, we were the first couple they met, and they told us this afterwards. And they were like, yo, you're the first couple we met, but the vibe that we got, showing up, having drinks, chatting, understanding each other's boundaries and things like that, just that sequence of conversations did wonders for them for their next encounter when they met the next couple. So I think making sure we could give them an opportunity to understand how the interaction, not should go, but could go in a positive way, and giving them some leeway to go on what I would perceive as a blind date with another couple, because that's really what it is. You're trying to see if everybody meshes well enough to, have, more relations. So I always tell them, take your time, especially when you're new. A lot of couples think that it's just meet and fuck, and they don't realize that there is a lot of communication and things that go into that. So if you especially with,
and it's kind of like dating, like we've said on our YouTube channel. I think we actually touched on this exact topic.
Yeah.
It's like dating. You're gonna go out, hang out, see if you click, and if there's something there, you'll know. And if not, then you guys are just friends. And we kind of I wouldn't say all the time, but we do like rookies and new, because we like to give them a different perspective of the lifestyle than they probably already have, and show them that it's a friendship, it's a fun thing, it's an addition to your relationship, it's an addition to your life. It just expands everything. It's not a requirement, it never should be, and it's never to fix a relationship. It's just extra. It's like icing.
So to bring that full circle, if we were to, when we meet a couple and we're talking, not say if, but when we meet couples and they're new, we always try to we try to help them understand that this is supposed to be a benefit. So all the things you're doing leading up to the full swap or to whatever it is that you're looking for should be a benefit to your relationship. So we tell them all, if you walk into a situation and you're both not feeling it, or one of you not feeling it, communicate, talk to each other, make sure that your communication is solid, step one. And then step two, make it fun. So if you're going to go and you want to meet a couple, make sure you're both interested, make sure there's something you both can see in, whoever you're talking to, and then meet them, try to make sure that you're both interested and inquisitive to move forward.
And if that means going and doing something vanilla just to feel each other out before you jump into anything swinger, that sometimes that's the best way to do it, because you're in a comfortable setting, you're in a restaurant, you're bowling, you're at Topgolf, whatever, and there's no expectations. It's just get to know each other and see where it leads.
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like
if you're not interested, then you can just
have a good time and go.
Yeah, exactly. There's not that pressure. There's not that we have to go do something after this.
So now, so before that,
I love the way you opened that.
So now,
I see your vodka. I raise you rum.
Get a question.
So now, even before that, I think something that we've spoken about in the past for us, we always tell people, for the people who are like really, really new, because you'll have people who just don't know how do we get into it. So when we start from the very beginning, where we have people saying, okay, we want to get into lifestyle, we don't know how to start it. We recommend that first you start with porn together.
I didn't even think about that.
That
to be honest,
a good recommendation. That's how we started.
That's exactly how we started.
He says porn, and yes, but I also have said on several other episodes that talk about your fantasies while you're fucking first, before you're like, oh, let's go out and do this, because you can say it to him in the bedroom or her in the bedroom and you're turned on by it, then you're probably going to be okay outside of that. Or at least it's something you've thought about in your head. So if you're going to be weird about it, it would be in that moment.
Yeah. And say, hey, I like this. Would you like this?
Yeah. Because that's
literally what we did.
I'm going to be 110 with you. I didn't even think about that. Like thinking about it at that infancy, I had figured that the person had already gotten to that point, but you're exactly right. In the very inception, because I'm way more sexual than she is on a consistent basis. Like on a day-to-day basis, I will slap her in the face with my dick all day if I could. And she'd be like, nigga, I got shit to do. But you could definitely titty slap the shit out of somebody if you wanted to. You know?
I'm glad that you gave me the idea because Mr. Mocha is getting fucked up tomorrow.
Come in and just but
Thanks, Lupe. Thanks.
you're welcome. I do what I can for you, brother.
I do what
Are
I
you
can.
suffocating? Are you suffocating? It's hot.
Exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, I didn't even think about that, but you're exactly right. I
Yeah,
would definitely say starting with the porn and expressing your fantasies was big because
Talking about it with
we
each
talked
other
about
first.
that originally before we ever got into anything in lifestyle. That was the first thing we did. We were watching a group scene, and I remember asking her, like, "Is this something you would be interested in?" And she was like, "Yeah, but I would want it to be equal and mutual." And she went through her whole little spill about what she liked, but that whole spill that she came with led to, another conversation, which led to another conversation, which eventually led to us signing up on a website. And I think to segue into what would be next after you've expressed yourself and you both have communicated your fantasies and dove into porn that may visualize your fantasies, I would say signing up for a lifestyle site where you can meet like-minded people who are already into the same things would probably be step 2.
Yeah, and also maybe following people on like Instagram or Twitter that are in the lifestyle, because you can ask questions and kind of see what their lifestyle,
Yeah.
a little
I wouldn't
more of a
recommend-
peek into what other people are doing.
I wouldn't recommend asking questions to people on IG because
No, I
that
don't
shit is
mean that.
annoying.
I guess not that. I mean, like, let's say they
Twitter's
don't know.
fine.
I've had people reach out to me on IG all the time and say, "Hey, I want to get in the lifestyle. What website should I go to?" Because they just don't know.
No, I completely
So
agree with that.
and maybe that's another way that they can get that information.
Yeah, link
is
tree. SDC.
by asking. Yeah.
Do you know how I found out that I was on a website? Mr. Mocha called me and was like, "Hey, this is our name on this website." And I was like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah.
Oh, I put us on this website as a couple. And I'm like, okay,
That's
well, what
exactly
does that mean? But
So-
then he he explained like what it was, how it was, and then I was super interested. But like when you say SDC or Cassidy or SLS or Lifestyle Lounge, regular people don't know what the hell that is.
No.
And then you're like swingers date club. I'm not trying to date these people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that, so like for us, because the website to me is definitely important because like-minded people are important. But like you said before, the process with her, because I was in lifestyle first, the process was first thing I did was I talked about her fantasies. Then we had sex while I was talking about her fantasies because
No,
if you're
he would make me tell him about the other guys that I had fucked because we were still dating.
Yeah.
We didn't live together. So like if I fucked somebody, like he'd say, "Tell me exactly what you did." My first stories were pretty shitty.
she was
I
like, "Yeah, he showed up. I sucked his dick, he stuck his dick in me, and then it was over." I'm like, no. I want you to tell me
an erotic story right now.
details.
You'll learn to be.
Because in order to get her to the next level, I first have to remove, between the two of us, you can't be shy about sharing the experience, because oftentimes I think couples are so concerned individually with, oh, I'm gonna hurt her feelings or I'm gonna hurt his feelings, so they don't communicate well. If they get into the lifestyle and they don't communicate.
You would rather hurt their feelings, for sure, than not say it at all. Because then you're already fucking up.
Then you don't know where they stand.
Well, also, you don't want to be just in both of that. You don't want to have something that you want or don't like, and you're afraid to say something because of somebody's feelings. You know what I mean? So just like you with the stories, I had that similar experience. The difference was we were on a break at the time. She was fucking this guy that she worked with, and she would not fuck me at work, and we worked together at this place. But as soon as I left, she started fucking this dude. So I'm like, "You're gonna tell me everything you did?" And then I'm gonna be honest, like to this, not fucked at this hospital, and I'm tight about that. Like that is literally something that pisses me off when I think about it. Like my eyes about to get low because I'm about to be mad.
Only at that one place, because we did at our first job together, which is a whole nother thing.
We're not talking about that.
Oh,
We're literally
Jason.
talking about
You admitted that the last time we did
that
the
on the
podcast,
last
and you fucked at
episode,
work.
yeah, and I said, as you can see on this podcast, I haven't let it go yet.
Mr. Mocha, if you want to talk about salty, when I first met him, this dude would fuck anywhere. We worked together, and he literally walks up to me at the front desk. He was like, "I'm about to go fuck this chick in the massage room." I'm like, "Okay, cool, fine." Did I ever get fucked in the massage room? Hell no.
I trusted you at my house. I didn't trust her at my house.
Bro, listen, I
Shit,
feel that, but
did
you
off
should have
like a
fucking.
week later. That was nerdy chick.
Oh yeah. That's true.
Listen, I'm not mad at him for that, but at the same time,
There with you.
I need.
Saltiness.
We would need to listen. We going back to the hospital and fucking that bitch. I ain't not. I'm literally gonna I'm gonna self-mutilate myself. I'm going to the hospital to get checked in.
Lupe, what is your sign, dude?
I'm a Capricorn.
Oh, I'm an Aries. I thought we were close.
It's okay. We're still.
Oh no,
cool.
we are. I'm a
She's a
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Aries,
I
Sagittarius.
don't know what
Oh
that
yeah, we
means.
fire signs together, girl.
Listen, you know Capricorns. We're very fluid. We get along with everybody.
Yeah, me?
Yeah, you're a water sign.
Okay.
I'm a fire sign.
And I'm an Earth.
She just
sign.
told me funny.
I'm a fire sign.
I don't even know how we ended up together. Honestly, if we were talking about signs, we couldn't be further
We are
apart.
so
Shit, I'm gonna be honest.
not
In
compatible.
real life, we further apart. She'd be like, "Babe, I like that teal." I'd be like, "I was thinking black."
Ew.
Like,
Oh no.
We're definitely the same way.
Yeah.
For the most part.
You know, I think that's actually another. That's a point that's for a different episode, but I think that what a lot of people miss is, as a couple, you have to have a certain type of love because we are very different. And my love for her is.
You can just say it, 2%.
she said, "You
My
got
love-
stem love."
My love for her kind of surpasses all of our differences. Like, for the most part with her, I'm just like kind of whatever. Like, whatever you like, I don't care. Like, I mean, whatever you want.
Facts.
Because it's just like, I love her that much. So like those differences, and she's changed me as a person very, very much, which is for the better. Our compatibility, I think, from the beginning, is pretty cool the way we got together because we
We're
became friends first. We started having sex and it was very organic. I'm by nature, I'm not the kind of person to be backed into a corner or forced or pushed or prodded. And we just very organically got closer. So in the beginning, I started seeing that she was very suppressed. Believe it or not, as wild as she is, she was very sexually suppressed. And from that standpoint, is she fucked a lot of people, but
Pause on that. I fucked 7 dudes in like 3 days.
Yeah.
When I was vanilla.
She fucked a lot, but she was fucking for a different reason back then. When I first did it,
Exactly.
she was fucking just kind of for the attention. And then
Say that.
when we got together, she got to this place where she no longer needed attention because I gave it to her. So then she started learning to fuck for her own pleasure. And so with her, we created this friendship and this bond where she learned that with me, you can be 100% honest. So the first thing I tell couples is, when I first met her, because I've always been a very direct person, my honesty would hurt her feelings a lot. But she's learned now how to give it back, because at the end of the day, if we are going to go out, her and I, and have sex with other people, first we have to be honest with one another. Then after that, our first step was, fantasy during sex, which was very difficult for her, believe it or not. It was very hard for her to tell me her fantasies during sex. So I pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. And I made her get more and more descriptive during sex until
it's hard to say some stuff.
But here's the thing. If you can't tell me, your partner, how are you going to enjoy yourself in the lifestyle with other couples or other men? So that was the first step.
Let me tell you. So it's easier to say stuff to a complete fucking stranger. You don't even know if you're going to see that person again. So what do you care what you say to them? I'm just saying this was my mentality before Mr. Mocha.
Lupe, I want you to attack that.
But
because
seriously, yeah. But so I could say whatever to this complete stranger, because the likelihood when I was single like that was that I would never talk to the dude again. I was
gonna fuck him once and bounce.
Huh?
You gonna fuck him once and bounce.
Right. So it was easier just to say stuff, but then, so I didn't care if there was any judgment, like who the fuck cares? But then when it comes to your spouse or your significant other, emotionally invested in that person, and you are so careful not to say anything to make them jealous. And my ex-husband was a maniac, crazy, jealous dude. So that was part of the reason it was so hard for me to do that.
So you started with somebody who was ultra jealous, so it put you in a shell to close you off. See,
Yes.
she grew up in a more, how would you put your household? It wasn't, my family was very touchy-feely, very, like, I would come in the house and my mom would be like all over my dad type shit, you know what I mean?
No, my parents, they're not touchy-feely, like hardly at all. And they're also not people that will talk about issues or be open about a lot of things. They're very like, I don't know what the word is, like closed off emotionally.
Extremely conservative.
And
they're not
yeah,
closed.
well, that too.
They're open to each other, but it's not something that they share with people. So for me, like affection and communication, that came naturally for me. And when we started getting into the lifestyle, for me to be like, hey, I want you to lick my ass. That's an easy topic. Like, yeah, I'm coming out the gun with that. I'm like, listen, babe, I think tomorrow I'm gonna wax my ass, you're gonna eat my ass. She's like, oh, well, okay. But it took her like
she wanted to push back.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna be like, nah. She was like, okay. And I'm like, in the same breath, I'm like, babe, what do you want? She's like, no, I'm good. I'm happy with just you. I'm good. I'm asking her consistently for weeks, like, hey, what do you want? What do you want to try? And then we go to a party, and she's like, dick to the forehead, dick to the ass, dick here, dick there. And I get home like, did you like that? She's like, I love when a guy fucks my face and fucks me. I just love it. I'm like, so.
Disclaimer, though, for me, and this is my reasoning, is that a lot of the stuff that I like, I didn't know I liked until I was experiencing it. And maybe it's because of what the raising that I had, that everything was like hush hush and like talk about stuff like that. So some of that stuff I learned I liked because I actually experienced it. Other stuff, I feel like some of my little fantasies are just fantasies, and I want them to stay that way. Like, they don't actually have to happen. I feel like they might get messed up if I try to make them happen. So that's my reasoning for the two different.
So that's the reason you won't tell me all your fantasies. Not because they're weird.
I told you.
Not because you got to think for starfishes.
What?
What?
Just wanted to know. You don't got to think for starfish. Okay, I was just checking through. You never know.
You just went so left.
Listen, hey, look, my wife wants to fuck a transsexual, so therefore, like, when she tells me everything.
I've actually considered that.
Listen, I've seen so many on Twitter. So yeah, I also I obviously have some transgender stuff, or there are a lot on Twitter that I've actually gotten a little wet about, because they're like super hot chicks at the top with a super big dick on the bottom. But so the whole moral of the story is, yes, I want to do that. But the first time that I think I completely opened up to Mr. Mocha, like balls to the wall, like everything that was inside of my head, was we'd probably been together like 5 years. And I told him about my bi guy fantasy.
It was longer than that.
No, because it was only a little different.
Okay.
Anyways, but that was so hard for me to tell him, because I knew that it wouldn't be something that he would be into. So I was worried about saying it to him, like, because I was worried he would be turned off, but he always asked me what my fantasies were. So at first, because I was a chicken shit, I told him over the phone while he was out of town.
Yeah, like, I want to fuck a bi guy. I want to fuck a tranny, something that like that.
I just said I have like a bi guy fantasy, and he's always asking me like, what's your fantasies? So I texted him and told him I had something to tell him. So I got on the phone and like told him about it. He wasn't turned on by the situation. He was turned on that I told it to him.
I was excited that because that was always my thing. Like, whatever it is, you tell me. Because to me, it's easy to tell someone something when you know they're gonna like it. But for you to put yourself out there and take a risk that they won't like it, and you still tell them, to me, I love that bravery, and that says that you trust me. Exactly. And so for me, I was excited that she was bold enough and brave enough to tell me. You know,
I think that goes a long way.
yeah.
Yeah, and it took me a lot to get to that point to be able to tell him, because like I said, because it's something that wouldn't turn him on, I didn't know if it was okay to actually say it.
Yeah, which
Can
makes
I
sense.
say this? Is it gonna turn him off? Is he gonna be like, fuck that shit, da 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 da? Like I didn't know. But
Yeah,
he
sure.
he was just more excited that I told him. And again, I already knew in my mind it's not something he wanted to participate in. But he was excited that I told him about it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, we at this point we've gotten to a place in our relationship where there's nothing she can't tell me. And I think what's funny is there will be times we'll be having sex and she will tell me these things during sex. And it does, like, it's once again, it makes me glad that she can say, like, if she's in the midst of a fantasy in her head, I'm with her there. Like I'm not gonna stop and be like, what the fuck? No. We've pushed our boundaries. Any fantasy you have, I'm gonna support, and I'm asking you for it. And I think that for new couples, I think that piece right there is the thing that they should try to establish first. Any situation that they're gonna potentially put themselves into, they should have talked about it during sex multiple times until they're able to completely open up on that subject during sex and enjoy it together because they're conditioning their minds.
I also think that you should have that conversation in sex and have it outside of sex when you can. And the reason
Absolutely.
to say that is because I think every guy in the lifestyle who's ever watched his girl and every girl who's ever watched their guy have sex, anybody's watched their spouse, you have a moment where you come and they're not done. And your fantasy is, I'm gonna come and this is, the music stops, we're back to reality. But that's not always the case. So there's been times where we've been in situations where I'm still going and she's done, or whoever she's playing with is done.
Usually that's a couple situation.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, couple situations.
No, well, when it happens, it's with a couple.
Yeah, it can't happen when we with a single guy, because if he finished, I just step in.
Or a group setting.
He'd be like, bro, I don't know how you're still fucking. I'm like, that's why I called you, nigga. We need to tag team. This is a 2-for-1 right here. We got 2 of us for 1 of her. Okay? That's what you need. I definitely think that conversation, like you said, is important, but I think that conversation is also important outside of the bedroom. I think that you should be able to have that conversation in the morning when you're, having your breakfast. Hey, babe, so I was thinking this, and this, and this is why. Because you're sober, you're not horny, you're not drinking. There's no added there's
Aphrodisiacs.
yeah, no added. I like
but
that.
that's our pre and post game, because we pre-game and we post game. So that's what I would do. Hers after we did it, I would ask her questions about how she felt about what we talked about while we were playing last night. But that also pushed us into, once we actually got into physical playing, we always post game. So before it happens, we talked about it. After it happens, when all the endorphins are gone, then we talk about it also.
Exactly. I think that's a very big thing, is that communication before and after. So if we're gonna talk, before, and most people do talk before, but that after and understanding after, because if you're new and you go to a party and things happen that you don't like. So for example, we were at Mocha in Atlanta. We're in a room and we're playing with a couple couples.
I already know what you're gonna say.
Y'all know how long ago Mocha Atlanta was, right? The first one.
Yes.
We
We were there.
It wasn't that long ago, right?
No.
So we're in the room with a couple couples, all right? And we're going in, and this lady, she's very petite, older. I don't
She
say
was
older.
like
She was
90 pounds.
She's not 90 pounds. She was like 115.
Okay, maybe, but
Anyways, I pick her up. Okay, got her up in the air. I'm treating her like a spinner. I'm going in. I'm got her up in my arms.
Getting the workout in.
Getting the workout in. You know how I go. You pick the legs up. You holding her up. Hey, that was a no-go. Okay, I didn't know this was a no-go until I looked
Wait,
over.
hold on, wait, no go. What do you mean?
This was a no-go for this hoe because I didn't pick her up. Okay, I didn't lift my wife up first. So, mind you,
Violation.
how the fuck? How am I supposed to know it's a violation?
Don't
Because
let me
you've never
see
done
you
it to
do
her
something-
before.
Don't let me
Think
see you
without
doing
your
something
penis.
new with somebody new.
So see, these are things you got to communicate ahead of time. Okay, we didn't communicate that.
Well, that's why the post conversation is good for new and old couples because you may run into something that you don't like.
Yeah, see, there's not an insecurity, but there's some shit you don't like. And look, so that in particular time, the post conversation, we're in the car and we're going to get some food. I don't know where the fuck we were, but we're gonna get some food in Atlanta at later night. And she was like, I just can't believe you. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I can't believe you did that. And I'm like, what did I do? I didn't do anything new. In my mind, I'm like, I didn't do shit new.
But she did.
And she's like, you just gonna pick her up like that? And I'm like, pick her. This is what we're talking about? You talking about the shit that cost me life? Like that shit, I had to lift her. That was my calories. And you mad? Because I wasted my calories like that?
Yep.
Okay, all right. But that post conversation, let me know. Now that literally, let me let you know. After we got back home, I waited a couple of days. I waited like 3-4 days. I invited one of my homeboys over. I said, listen, this is what I need you. I need you to pick her up. He was like, oh, no problem. I was like, thank you. So he picked her up and he doing his thing. And I'm like, I'm looking at her. She ain't making eye contact. She in the moment. But as soon as that nigga, I was like, so did you enjoy yourself? Did he give you the airtime you needed? Because clearly you were upset with me because I wasn't picking you up. So I just wanted to make, I wanted to clear the air. And then after he left, I made sure I picked her up too. I said, make sure you get a lot of airtime.
Nice.
Bad.
So so this is actually I like this because that post conversation, a lot of new couples are afraid to do that.
Mhm.
This is what experienced couples do. An experienced couple post game, good, bad, or ugly, we're gonna have the conversation. We're not gonna run from it. Period.
Nah, hell no.
I don't, because sometimes it may get a little ugly, but what'll happen if you don't confront it right away, what's gonna happen is you're gonna hold on to it for 4 days, and then your wife's or your husband's gonna eat your burrito, and you're gonna lose your mind over something, and you're like, why the fuck are we arguing? It's not over the fucking burrito. It's because of something that happened and you didn't post game. So that post game is important, and also that confrontation. And a lot of people don't understand that those insecure feelings that you have are natural.
And
Yeah.
no- and just because I can't speak for you guys, but I can speak for us, just because we've done this for so long, there are still certain behind the scenes things that happen, and you just don't talk about them. We talk about them amongst each other, but there are still certain insecurities, or just like you said,
Yeah.
that wasn't long ago. Like there's certain things I see him do with somebody else, and I'll say something.
Yeah, she's like, oh, you didn't do that one.
Yeah, like where did that
listen,
come from? I'm gonna need
I
you to put
expect it.
extra effort in.
Yeah. Trust me,
Because
I know.
my only thing with him is I always tell him, like, I put whatever I put into somebody else, into him, especially if I just got fucked really well. I make sure he gets the exact same thing when we're done. Unless I'm tired. Let me say, unless I'm
No,
tired.
there you
That's
go.
it.
There's the caveat.
There's
There's
definitely
the
been,
caveat.
listen,
Hold on, wait
if
a minute.
she's tired, she can go to sleep. No problem. If I'm tired be damned. She don't give a fuck. If I just want to put in some work on this woman, you owe me right now.
Just
But-
don't come in this room talking about, babe, can I get a minute?
Well, you know
Nope.
what? So then we're even because after like gangbangs, I always leave a little in the tank for you. So I don't want to hear that.
That's
So
true. But then
gangbangs-
also,
For me, like I think with a gangbang, because there's so many things happening, I can just keep going. Like it just amps me up that much.
Yeah,
much
for
more.
her, she
Right,
don't
but
know,
when
because
you
for
get
her,
home and you realize, like when we started having sex late night, I'm like, oh shit, I'm kind of sore. Like I only got so much left right now, but you enjoy watching that, so it's like a trade-off.
I get sore, but he doesn't care. He just says,
no, that's not my,
that's not my problem.
it's not my problem. I feel that. And I know that sounds bad to the listeners. They're like, oh my God, care about your wife and how her vagina is. And yeah, there's a point where I care, but there's also a point where I know my wife is gonna tap out because she's a bum ass nigga and she's like, fuck this, I'm tired, I want to go to sleep. And I'm like, yeah, but I know you got another mile in you. Like, I know. It's like that car when you're like, come on, baby, come on, just make it to the gas
We're
station.
not being coached. So
Listen, I'm telling you right now,
He was coached.
to get a gangbang, I'll wait and I'll be like watching, like, oh, I'm glad you're having a good time. And she'll be like, Daddy, can you go easy on me? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm dropping on that pussy.
It's fine. It works like reverse psychology.
But here's the, she likes, like, the more she gets, the hornier she is. But see, with me, the problem is she'll get mad. Like, we'll have a party and I'll have sex with 5 women and I'm out of juice. And I get to the bedroom like, oh, I'm so tired. And she's like, yeah, she like grabbed my dick like, you gonna work. You gonna.
I ain't gonna cap. We've had that, but it's typically like when we go to these content creator parties. So the content parties, I get worked.
you're the hot commodity.
I get worked, and that's part of the reason why I've been working out so hard. I get worked, and then I get home and she's like, "So, you ready?" I'm like,
Oh, I know how that works. I know how that
He
out my
says
mouth
that.
is,
He
Listen.
says that, but I give him just as many
No.
breaks as he gives me. But if he's fucked like 3 or 4 women that week and I haven't gotten to any after that, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be mad.
Oh hell yeah.
Look at this. I pay the bill.
Yes.
I pay all the bills. I make sure the house is clean. I work from home. I take care of the kids. Like, yes, you're gonna take care of this pussy.
You feel good?
No, I meant like I go online and pay them with
Oh,
their
like,
money.
I don't make any money. I'm sorry.
You're the accountant. You manage the bill.
Yes.
No, look, listen, I get that.
Me too.
But see, but I think that this right here is what a lot of newer couples don't think it's okay to do. They don't think it's okay to confront one another with the things that bother them.
Yeah.
And I think this is the most important thing, where we are perfectly okay with saying, hey, this made me uncomfortable and this is why. So it doesn't mean we're never going to be in this situation again. Don't mean that I'm not going to pick a chick up and bounce her again. It just means that, all right, I need you to do that to me. Okay, great.
You better
Now
not.
I know.
yeah. And also, so in saying that, the confrontation thing is knowing how to come to each other and have that conversation. Sometimes, so the post game may not be the right opportunity to drop that nuke in that moment. But
Right.
you want to have that conversation. So if you guys are drunk and the post game is like, hey, we're on our way home, we're both fucking wasted, and
Our post game is never drunk.
yeah, that's what I'm
Our
saying.
post
Some
game
people
is
have that
never
post
drunk.
after. We try not to. We'll talk on the way home, but like when you really have that conversation, it's like, all right, hey, I'm upset about this. We're gonna talk about it tomorrow. I love you. Let's fuck, but we're gonna talk
Well,
about this
I
tomorrow.
think it's also the attitude that you got to come to
Yeah.
each other with.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can't be like if you treat, like, for example, the whole picking the girl up. I'll use that one as a perfect example. He truly had no ill intentions, and I know that he didn't. He was just having fun, and he wasn't trying to do something with someone else that he couldn't do with me. That's just how I felt. So like, you got to know that your partner has your best interest at heart and they're not trying to hurt you. So when you come to them and say, hey, I don't like this, or this hurt my feelings, or, I don't agree with this, you're coming to them in a certain way that it's not like accusatory. It's more of like, hey, I'm not feeling this. Like, can we do something different? Or
hey,
or this hurt my feelings.
or
like,
hey,
I don't know.
why you ain't pick me up? Am I too big? You need to hit the gym more. If you can't pick me up, you can pick her up. It's your problem, nigga. You need to hit the gym. I don't like that you in there doing legs. Stop do arms so you can pick me up, bitch.
Don't say all that.
But dead ass, you said that shit in the Waffle House parking lot. You said, and I Waffle House parking lot. He said,
You argued with me.
I
You
said-
I had to come with the
I said, only thing I said was, babe, she's 110 pounds. She said, I don't give a fuck.
Okay, guys, advice, men, that is not the answer. Do not say, well, she's only 110.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now,
Girl.
I would have said the same thing. Thank you for sharing that information with me, because I would have failed as well. Like,
And I would have told you the same thing. Get in the gym so that you can lift me up now.
yeah. Oh, I know. I understand. So
I'm curling 160 now, baby. We ain't got no sweat. I'm picking up all the bitches. What you mean?
you are sick. But so I think that is also that is a big thing where I think a lot of men, especially in the lifestyle, newer guys in the lifestyle, have a problem saying that I had an insecurity or I had a jealous moment. There's
Don't
nothing
have it
wrong.
in front of people.
Yeah, there's
Don't do it
nothing
in
wrong
front
with
of
later
people.
on,
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
in your
That's
post game
yeah.
saying I had a jealous moment. This is how I feel, because we need to reassure one another, because this is not something that we're used to doing. So for us, because I was in the lifestyle longer, there was years of reassurance
Yeah.
I had to get into it. And don't get me wrong, you know, there's been a time or two where I needed reassurance. So there's that reassurance is something that's important. So if, as a new person in lifestyle, if you can't go to your wife and say, hey, honestly, I just needed a moment because this dude pulled out a baby leg and I'm not used to seeing you get fucked by something that big, or I fuck you for 12 and a half minutes and he fucks you for 30, or whatever it may be for your wife. Oh, the way you kiss that woman, or whatever it may be, it made me feel this way, because now you give me as a man the opportunity, or I give her as a woman the opportunity to reassure you and say, hey, you don't have to feel insecure, or you don't have to feel bad. This is how I feel for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that a lot of new, as well as somewhat experienced couples,
Yeah.
have an issue with, just being honest and saying, hey, I had a jealous moment. This is how I feel, how I felt. And now I'm basically giving you an opportunity to give me reassurance so that we can do this thing again. And now my mind is not traveling to this point. Just like you. Hey, I wasn't picking this chick up because I'm trying to give her something different. She weighed 10 pounds. Fuck it. It was easy. I mean, I got back problems and asthma. You know what I'm saying? I'm joking, baby.
I think that's another important thing too. Like you said, like then when you go to your next experience, you feel confident in that experience. And I think that that's what's so important about that post game, is that if you don't have that, you're not addressing the issues. And then however that person felt from that experience, they're going to take it to the next one.
Yep.
And it's going to ruin the lifestyle for them, because they're not actually being open and talking about it.
Don't go to a party or an event if you argued right before it.
Oh yeah.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
I can honestly say we've done that before.
We have to.
We have
We've
to.
argued on the way
We
to
are
a thing.
veterans and we have done that.
And typically our arguments have nothing to
I
do
don't
with,
recommend it.
I don't recommend either.
Yeah.
If the argument has to do with the lifestyle. So most of our arguments have absolutely jack shit to do with the
Same here.
on the way there. Like we're literally arguing about something that's in regular life.
Mhm.
And when we get to the party, we'll talk about this when we get
Later.
We'll finish this.
Then your energy's off though. Then you get to
Yeah, it
whatever
is.
event
No,
or whatever party and your energy is completely different. And people can tell, especially when you're Lupe and Micha or you're Mr. and Mrs. Mocha. Everyone expects a certain persona at when you're hosting or just going
that
to places.
energy
that's why they come.
And they know it. People know immediately. They're like, hey, what's up? You guys okay? Like you get that, you guys all right? They're like,
yeah, I'm telling you, that is so true.
And
because
we usually tell them, we're like, well, this is what was going on.
Yeah, like because it's bullshit.
It's always something normally.
Right.
It's like,
there's never anything where like
you didn't give me enough time to get ready, or like
he was rushing me out the door. No. I'm like, all right. Well,
and then because we put it out there, it's another level to connect with a couple or other people in lifestyle, because they're like, oh, they go through the same normal stuff that we do.
So now rookies, now if you're disputing over lifestyle shit, don't put that out there.
Don't.
Veterans,
that's the thing.
it's different for veterans because we're not usually, because it's the same thing with us. Like we don't, if we're getting into it, it's about the fucking dog or one of the kids or something, you know, usually the dog. So that being said, you know, I'm with you on that, because you're right. You can connect on the fact that, because I think a lot of people see us and go, oh, their relationship is absolutely perfect. Well, no, it's not absolutely perfect. It's phenomenal. I will say our relationship is far better than most people because of the level that we've been able to connect on, but it is by no means perfect. And yeah, we do have our tips. We don't really have many lifestyle tips anymore, but we do. You know, we do have, but we don't go to parties, or we won't go to an event if we're having some kind of major lifestyle issue. But for new couples, I would definitely say, if the only thing that's going to make a new couple argue is they held it in too long, or you'll have somebody who's, the event's coming up and you got somebody in there, they're in their head, they're frustrated, they're nervous, they're scared, and they lash out on.
They saw something that made them uncomfortable and they didn't know what their reaction. They didn't know how to react and say, hey, I didn't like it when you did that chick or that dude or whatever, because point blank period, if you don't understand something, it's hard to vocalize what you do or don't like about it.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right.
You don't even understand it.
Yeah, you're right. And that all boils down to communication and patience. So having a patience with your spouse in this lifestyle is immaculate. Both parties may or may not have the patience, but I think that if you're a lifestyle couple, or you want to be a lifestyle couple and you knew, one of you guys has to take the reins and say, I'm going to be the patient one. 95% of the time, I take the reins and I say, hey, I'm going to be the patient one. You know what I mean? I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do what you do emotionally, and we'll talk about this when you're ready. And then there's a nice 10% of the time where I'm like, nah, fuck that. We'll talk about this shit right the fuck now. And when I'm doing that, it's like, okay, she respects that, because she's like, typically this motherfucker don't give a fuck. Because I'm very much like you, Miss Mocha, in the sense where I love her so much that I'm like, whatever the fuck you want, I'm good with. And I have my very few things where I'm like, nah, nigga, we ain't doing that. And when I have those moments, she's like, okay, well, he said something this time, you know? But I think that communication and that patience and willingness to be understood and the willingness to understand will go an immense distance when it comes to starting this. Because that's one of the things, like, you know, going to a gangbang party, like, as much as I love to see her do her thing, going to gangbang parties and realizing, okay, my wife really would prefer to be fucked by 5 guys at one time. Like, I can have a one-on-one with a guy, and it's great, and I would like to just chill, sit back, masturbate, watch her do her thing. But realistically, my wife enjoys multiple men. If it's 3 or more, she's happy because she can just go wild. Yeah. And, you know, it took a few years for me to come to that realization. Yeah, she likes this. Not just I like it, but she physically, like, before it was a kink, and I'm like, you know, hey, like, I like to see you do this every now and again. But when she was like, nah, I prefer to do parties because I can have my pick of the litter, and I can be the hot shit on campus, and I can be the center of attention. This is my thing. Like, physically, this is my thing. Yeah. That was something that, you know, took a little minute for me to be like, okay, all right, I guess I'm not enough. I guess you need 4 or 5 of me. I can't split. But it's something that, you know, that took communication and understanding. And I think that newbies in the lifestyle have to understand, especially from a guy's perspective, because most guys, if we see sexy ass women, our dicks in their hard, we want to fuck. Okay. Women, like you said before, have a hard time expressing that. And then once you get to that point where you've expressed it, now it's like, how far can I take it? And how far you can take it is 90% based on how far your husband or your spouse or your partner is allowing you to take it in a comfortable way. So if that communication is there and you can say, hey, you know, babe, I want to fuck 10 guys tonight. Not that I don't need you, I don't love you, but I want to fuck 10 guys tonight. And you're like, okay, so I got to find 10 guys that are solid and you want to fuck 10 guys. Okay. That whole conversation has to happen so that you both can find your comfort level and be happy in that. Because trust me, as a guy, you'd be like, God damn, I change your whole mindset after that. You hear that shit. What you ordering? What are you ordering? I just want to know what you're gonna eat. Don't feel bad. I ain't yet either. Okay, she ate. I didn't.
I was
going. You hear the vibration. He's speaking to you.
KFC.
You in KFC, girl? Yeah, you better woman than me. Wish I could.
The only thing open right now.
Real?
Yeah, everything closes early around here.
Listen, I'm not mad at you. I was just saying I wish I could. Okay, I'm trying to be 6-pack shorty for you. You know what I'm saying?
He's working for you.
I'm working for Mrs. Mocha. Mr. Mocha got the juice.
I got to put some work in because I know when I see Misha in November, I got.
So that's legitimately my countdown. My countdown is to.
No, his really is Mocha slash Mocha.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get on
24
too because
days.
I got some work to do with you, Misha. And
Twofold.
do all this kind of acrobatic shit too. Like I gotta be ready.
Lupe, I'm sorry, I'm just not as good of a flirter as Mr. Mocha is. Like, I do want to have sex with you, but you know, only if you get around to it. I mean, I know there's a lot of options there.
Smooth, like
Gotta
remember the voice? Remember the voice, the smooth voice?
Listen,
He just like lays it on like butter. Like that's
listen,
him.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Look.
Listen, I'm gonna be honest.
He's like,
I don't know too many women that look at me and go, "Damn, Lupe, I want to fuck the shit out of you."
I said that to you several times.
Yeah, you have, but I mean, I don't like. It's not something that happens often.
Oh no, she don't say it if she don't mean it.
Yeah,
No, she don't bullshit.
I'm just not good at flirting. I'm more of a like, if you want to fuck me type thing, let's do this, and then I'll get more comfortable afterwards. It's kind of weird.
and then the next, yeah, me too.
So
Let me know you're interested.
See, what happens with me is I get referrals. Okay, I get referrals.
You're on the referral program.
like so for example, like Brenda was like, yo, Lupe can really eat pussy. Like, if you want your pussy ate, like, fuck with Lupe. And that led to like 4 other women at that party literally coming to me and like, yo, listen, Brenda said that out of all the 12 hung ass dudes here, you're the one that will eat the shit out of my pussy. And I was like,
yep. Take a sip of your shit.
like, yeah. I was like, if you want some of this private stock, I got you.
Hey.
And that's literally how it works for me. I don't know how we got to that. I just thought I'd mention.
That's
Listen,
awesome.
all the couples that are listening to this, specifically the husbands, I'm just here to make your wife come. Okay, that's it. I just wanted to sit on my face.
Now we're advertising.
Hey, we can't advertise our only.
Hey, listen, ain't nothing wrong with advertising. There's nothing wrong with that.
Houston.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Mocha,
going
/
down.
Houston, I'll be there. My face will be ready.
My face gonna be ready.
I mean, like, not to be like rude or anything, but just your face.
Yeah,
Listen,
all of you.
No, I say my face because my face doesn't get tired. Like, I can eat pussy for 24 hours straight. But fucking for 24 hours, nah.
I mean, that's what I had to kind of tell Mr. Mocha and like a few other people. I don't require like a long fucking. I want multiple guys, yeah, and I can go for a while, but like one guy at a time, like 20-30 minutes, I'm good to go.
Yeah, I feel you.
Okay,
I agree with that.
But I'm not gonna lie and act like
It doesn't have to be a marathon.
Yeah,
It can be good and it not be hours long.
Right.
Agreed.
I play basketball, so I have stamina. So I typically get about a solid, honest answer. I can do 3 30-minute sessions, maybe 4 in a day, and I'm good. That's 30-minute sessions. And I feel like that's solid. But if I'm eating pussy, fuck that. You can double that. Okay, you can quadruple that. I can eat pussy for literally 6 to 8 hours, and I'm a happy camper. Like, you know. Just want to put that out there.
I love this guy. I love this guy.
It's out there, babe.
Staring at you like, oh, really? Okay, we'll see about that tomorrow.
Oh,
No, because no.
Hey, hold on.
No.
I taught you.
You didn't. Nancy taught me. Tighten up. So there was a lesbian. No,
I taught
yeah.
you a
Hold
lot.
on, hold on. You see
Hold
that
on,
face?
wait
I know
a
that
minute.
face. I know that face. So let me explain to you. We used to work at a nursing home. Our very first job. There was a lesbian woman. She was in love with this chick.
I was your test.
You were my test
So
subject, and she put me on. So this lesbian woman pulled me to the side. Now, mind you, we're like 15 and 16, working our first job at a nursing home. And she's like, listen, you're going to be with that beautiful young white girl. I need to show you how to do your thing. And this lesbian taught me everything I know. I'm not even going to lie. And she knows this lesbian. She knows what I'm talking about. She was a bull dyke, butch woman that always had the baddest woman I've ever seen in my life.
She had some
Fine.
beautiful Spanish girls, always.
And she would keep them in rotation. It wasn't like she had one. She had a team. I was like, bro, how are you doing this? At 16 years old, I was confused. I'm like, how are you pulling these women, bro? These are like models straight from Colombia, like
legit,
crazy looking.
Brazilian.
We'd be like, she would bring them up to the job. She'd be like, yo, this is Lena. I'm like, bro, stop bringing. I don't know who is who, but they all fine. But yeah, so my bad. Anyways,
So you learned.
Nancy
So
put me
she
on.
taught you how to eat pussy.
She did.
How exactly did she teach you how to eat pussy?
Papayas, mangoes. She used fruit, a lot of fruit.
Wait, so she would hold the fruit and demonstrate?
She did.
That's a,
No
there's
cap.
a
I did
YouTube
not
video
know that.
about it.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
is this the first time I'm
She
hearing
cut
about
an
the
orange. She cut an orange in half and showed me how to find a clit with an orange. She cut the orange in half, and you know how the orange has like it's a circle, and then there's like a small circle, and then it makes like a between the two things. She cut the orange. Exactly. So she said, you know how the oranges sometimes have like a deformity at the top before it splits. She's like, all right, so if you're looking for the clit, take this orange. You can either start at the vagina hole and work your way all the way up. She said at the very top of that slit, you'll find a clit, no matter how small or how big it is. She's like, some girls are gonna have bigger clits, some girls are gonna have super small clits. She's like, either way, it'll be at the top of that slit. So find it. She's like, you're gonna find two holes. One super tiny, that's the pee hole. The other hole is the vagina. She's like, you can lick that, but it'll do nothing. She's like, but if you find the very top slit and you lick at the point, so find this little point right here. So if you find that and you lick that, she's like, you'll win. And shit you not, it's never failed. No matter what the vagina looks like, no matter if the clit's a finger size or a pinky size, you will find it if you stay at the top. And then she gave me some other pointers like don't press too hard, start soft, make sure you have plenty of lube, spit up, if you need to. Yeah.
That is awesome.
She gave me the whole rundown.
That is awesome.
And just to let you guys know, that face you were talking about when she was like, oh, she's like, why don't you eat my pussy? I come upstairs after looks like a long day. And I'm like, babe, just let me eat you out. You ain't got to do shit. Just lay here. She be like, nah, nigga, hold on. I need to fold the laundry. If I come right now.
Hold on. Can we just pause on that? Pause on that. Until very recently, majority of the time when you do that, you then want to fuck after.
True.
So I do not get an orgasm and then just relax.
True. Have you seen you naked?
Sometimes I just want to take a nap. Afterwards.
I have to say, Mr. Mocha is really good about that because he knows I'm not a good person if I don't have a nap. Like when I'm to that point.
But if I do a massage, like I'll be like, just let me give you a massage.
We've never made it past my ass cheeks.
I was gonna say massage means fucking. That's the word.
I mean, I've been trying to.
If I put my face down there, I'm getting some. Period.
That's exactly how I felt too. But I'm not gonna lie, as a recent, you're right. I've been making.
There's been because I made a point. I was like, hey, I give you head and you pass out and you're snoring. Sometimes I want to do the same thing.
Is that the dog? Check. Okay.
Dog is having his way.
Somebody here.
So now listen. We're gonna have to do a part 2 of this because we still have to get to the website because the website, getting rookies on the website, that's a whole nother podcast.
Oh God. Trying to get somebody to sign up?
Not getting them to sign up. Once they sign up, building the profile, learning how to communicate. So that's going to be the next one that we do. It's going to be teaching them how to work on the website. And I know we all have a lot of good, funny website experience.
Oh, don't we?
I'll be laughing. I ain't gonna cap. People's profiles be having me rolling. They're like, listen, we're here for soft swap unless the right couple comes along and changes. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Who's
I'm confused. So the next time we're going to talk about the profile, building the profile. But I know that, listen, this is how my eyes work, okay? I can see, just because you can't see my eyes, don't mean, that's not my fault.
You can't see, I know that feeling, bro. I know that.
Let me look up. Hold on, is that better? I'm gonna look up and talk so you can see the whites of my eyes, okay? How my eyes work, all right? I can see you. If you can't see my eyes, it's your problem.
I feel
that. Anyway, we greatly appreciate you guys being on this episode. Like I said, we definitely gotta get back and cover the profile and then first date and all that stuff. But Mrs. Mocha, can you tell people how they can find us now? Because I don't have this information.
I don't know either. I'm just kidding. Okay, so if you want to find us, you can find us on Twitter at OFACES, OFACEZ1.
Don't forget the Z.
Yep.
The Z is
Also,
important.
if you're planning on heading to Splash Houston, Splash Takeover, Splash Mocha anything, please use our affiliates code when you're checking out. It is OFACES, OFACEZ. Also, Mr. Mocha and I are both on OnlyFans, and our OnlyFans are at Mrs. Mocha's with an MRS, with an S on the end. He's at Mr. Mocha's with an S on the end. I think that's it.
That's it.
Oh, and if you want to reach out to us for any questions, you can reach out to us on Twitter through our DMs, or you can email us at ofaceslife@gmail.com. That's spelled OFACEZLYFE@gmail.com.
And don't forget to go check out our friends Lupe and Micha. They've always got a lot of fun stuff going on. We enjoy doing content. We enjoy looking at their content because they have a catalog of phenomenal content.
They're
You
holding
know,
out on us.
Micha has helped me get through some long, hard moments when Mrs. Mocha's at work. Oh, wait, hold on. Are we still recording? I'm so sorry. I apologize. I didn't know that we were still recording.
You know you're gonna die trying to challenge me in liquor, right?
Never. You don't know who you're talking to.
Oh, wait till we're okay.
Okay.
Going
Listen,
down.
hey, if you start this with her, you're keeping her with you at Mocha. How about that?
Listen, I'm fine with that. Just know she doesn't want to stay with me at local. You're like, listen, I gotta go. So my husband was like, this nigga's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's what I like to hear. Look, if you can wear her out, if you can wear her out, that'll be a challenge. We gotta take a day to see if he's got what it takes. I mean,
I told you I'm not about a whole day.
I'm challenged.
I told you how many times I got, bro. I got 3 or 4 30-minute
waters
sessions.
and
But that's
bread.
You just got challenged.
listen, in 11 years, I think I've only met 4 guys who she didn't tap out.
And it was only because the condoms got really dry.
Yeah.
Listen,
So-
I'm honest. I stopped trying to tap women out. What I always say is like, so, for example, Viper the Vixen. Whenever she comes to play, that's like a whole day. So I don't try to tap women out because yeah, she's the type, like, when me and her get together, she'll even tell, she's like, y'all need to go to a hotel for that shit. Like, she be giving me the boot. She'd be like, yo, you gotta go. Y'all
And
been
if I got time for all that.
exactly.
Hey, look.
But it's one of those things, like you said, you like multiple small sessions. So it's like 30 minutes, we'll take a break, smoke.
I get bored easily. Like literally, I get bored so easily. And not because it's like the person or I don't like them. I do get bored easily.
Listen,
I just have
her
like
time frame is completely different. So if she says, hey, it was only 10 minutes, that means it was 20. If she said he only did it for 20 minutes, that means it was 40. She's like, oh, it was only like 20 minutes. I'm like, I just watched 2 shows.
But sometimes
So
it
she
depends
wasn't
on
that bored.
It depends on my alcohol level. Because
Facts.
alcohol slows things down and you're like, dang, that didn't even seem like that long.
Yeah.
Facts. No,
Listen,
you're right.
You got in that alcohol work where you get in that time work, but I feel that.
I get in those. He's like, babe, you have to work in the morning. We've got to go.
I don't drink when I'm having a
We've
fucking marathon. Like if I know I'm fucking.
I mean,
like,
that
all
happened
night
to
long.
us on just a Sunday night.
Yeah. I don't drink that much. So
Yeah.
like typically during like parties where I'm like, I gotta show up, I'll be drinking water and cranberry juice.
You
I do drink water and cranberry juice whenever it's available.
don't.
If not, it's Red Bull.
If they don't have cranberry juice, I drink liquor.
Not liquor. If I'm fucking for real, I'm drinking cranberry juice. Psych. I was just joking.
I'm so confused.
I was joking.
You don't drink none of that shit.
I don't drink vodka. I don't drink any vodka. I saw you drinking your vodka, and in my head, I'm like, I would die if we challenged me to that.
Yeah.
But tequila. Yeah, everybody says
That's
that.
the face that everybody makes. Everyone has
I'm
a bad.
just allergic.
You're allergic to tequila? Bro, I'm so glad you said that shit to me right now.
Now we know.
Literally told you that when you came and visited. And you said,
I'm sure-
okay.
I'm sure you did, but when you came and
You were-
visited,
you
I
were
wasn't
lit,
planning
though.
on bringing you a bottle of
You
tequila.
were lit though.
I was already there. So that went over my head. Now I know you will die.
Well, listen, as we've always got so much liquor at this fucking house, it doesn't matter. Like, I can't.
I saw that too.
Yeah,
Yes,
Oh, that too.
They got a table. They got a lot of liquor.
yeah. We've always got a full bar here, so we're not like literally. We're in the living room. There's like wine over there. There's liquor back there. There's liquor
I
everywhere.
had a meeting for work the other day and Mr. Mocha had to change my desk around. And I was on like a one-on-one with someone and she was like, do you like Tito's? And I was like, no,
I
why?
forgot that I have.
He had 4 handles of Tito's sitting behind me where he'd rearranged my desk. So this chick was probably looking like,
She's like, bitch,
Well,
I
I
like
didn't
Tito's
know.
too.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
what does that mean? Like, why would she ask me that? And then I was like,
People look at your background. They're so nosy.
Listen, I'll be so nervous because I smoke behind her when she's on her work call. She'd be like, yeah, so Bill, yeah, we have this, and I'm behind her. I'm like, yeah, I'm right, Bill. We get high over here. I'm waiting for them to say shit. I'm waiting to be like, is that your husband? Smoking in the background. You guys smoke at your house? They never said shit. I only think they haven't said anything because I'm black. I think that's the reason. They're like, we not finna poke the bear. There's a nigga over there. We know. We not finna. I'm telling you, I bet the Zoom meeting.
My old manager loved you.
Your old manager was a
She was the
middle-aged
shit.
white woman. Of course she loved me. She was like, he's so sexy, his dreads.
I know. He likes you.
She's
Hey,
like,
listen. You got to use the advantages that you got, man. You got to use the tools that you have.
no cap.
Now listen, all right.
in your eyes, man.
All right. Listen, we're going to let you guys get out of here. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this episode. We hope to have you guys here often, especially to go through to kind of help people because, I mean, most people don't realize, starting from for us, A was getting into the lifestyle. And for us, where we are now, where we're doing content, podcasts, things like that, you guys doing the same thing. That's a big journey, but we've said before in the past that I think a lot of people learn the lifestyle incorrectly because they bring the same principles of non-lifestyle mentality where they're concerned about what people think, as opposed to understanding that you've entered a lifestyle where you can enjoy your fantasy, so you should fulfill it to the fullest. So having another experienced couple, I'm gonna get some liquor now. But anyways, I digress. Lupe and Micha, thank you so much for joining us. And until next time we see you guys.
Wow, goodbye from the Mochas.